How's it going, guys? And welcome to Putting 101 Part 2. If you did not check out Part 1, you can do so right up here in the top right-hand corner of your screen. I will link the Putting 101 Part 1 video there. It is also going to be in the description, so if this doesn't pop up for you, the link is in the description to go check out Part 1. Today, in Part 2 of Putting 101, we're going to talk about 3 or 4 very important keys to putting. Reading the green, learning to read the grain of the green, having a pre-shot routine on the green, as well as lag putting. Let's get right into this one. We're going to start with reading the green. Reading the green starts when you are walking up to the green or your approach to the green. You need to observe the green from afar and see if you can tell which way the green is sloped. Typically, greens are going to be sloped one significant way. It's going to be back to front. It's going to be right to left, front to back, whatever. You need to figure that out as you walk up and approach the green. Sometimes it's going to be very obvious where the breaks are, like this here. I'm standing on a pretty big crest. Obviously, this putt is going to break this way. However, sometimes you have to observe the outside forces that may affect the golf ball on the green. What I mean by that is, if there's water up next to the green, 9 times out of 10, the ball breaks towards the water because gravity wants water to go towards the water. So when it rains and everything, the water goes towards that lake or pond or whatever is near the green. So if you have water near the green, chances are it's going to be breaking towards the water. If you have bunkers up by the green, a lot of the time bunkers are going to have a kind of a mound around them and the ball is going to break away from that bunker. Not always, but a lot of the times. So if we're going to this hole here, one of the best ways to learn to read the green is if you were to toss a golf ball underhand at that cup, where do you feel like the ball is going to go? You can feel it with your feet. You need to walk the length of the putt. Okay, I can feel that this one's a little bit right to left. Also feels like I'm walking a little bit uphill. When you get on the backside, you can also look at the green, take a look at it, figure out where it's going. So this one looks to be a little uphill and right to left. Again, it is very good practice to read your putts from both sides of the hole. Once you figure it out, it's going to be uphill, it's going to be right to left. You need to figure out how much it's going to break. Find you an aim point. So I feel like this one's going to break quite a bit. So my aim point's going to be right in this area. So when you line up, don't look at the hole, look at your target. Look at your target of where you want the ball to take off towards. Once you get that, you lock in. Okay, you got a little bit uphill, so you're gonna have to hit it just a little bit harder. Lock in on that target, make you a good stroke. Pretty good putt, didn't make it, but you can see I had good speed. With that speed, I had a good line. One of the biggest things is when walking around the hole or the green, you can feel it with your feet, and you can also think, if I were to throw a ball here, down here, which way would the ball go? It's gonna go that way, right? So downhill is that way, which means the ball is gonna break downhill. When you get on this other side, again, just think about where the ball would go from here. So I can see that this is definitely sloped towards me, so it's gonna be uphill if I'm going this way. So when you get back to your ball, you know it's going to be breaking right to left. So one of the biggest issues I see with a lot of amateur golfers is speed on the greens. You need to get your speed under control. Once you've locked in on a target and you figure out where that putt's going to go and where you want to hit the ball, forget about the line. At that point, you're lined up, you're ready to go. Your concentration needs to be purely on speed. You want that ball to die within 2 feet of the hole. That way you have about a 90-95% chance of making that second putt. Make sure you get it to the hole. You miss 100% of the putts that you don't get to the hole. You have to give the putt a chance to go in. In order to do that, you have to have correct speed and get it to the hole. If you leave it short, there is a 0.0% chance that you're going to make that putt. Guys, just wanted to talk to you a little bit about a couple of the great training tools that I use to help with my putting. The first one I use is this Well Putt Well Stroke. It comes with this nice carrying case here. When you open it up, it helps with your stroke. It helps with your stroke path. You lay it down on the green, you get some tees out, you stick it in the ground, and then that helps you with your stroke just like this. So with the Well Stroke, you get you a couple tees, find your spot that you want to hit some shots. You can make a gate here at the beginning, like so. You can also, it has tons of holes throughout. Best advice is to get some of the shorter tees. Stick it all the way in the ground, that way it holds it in place. You can make a gate here, you can make a gate back here where your putter is going to be. Helps me tremendously with your stroke. This is a 12 degree. They do have different arc levels. If you feel like you're a little more inside and your arc is a little more pronounced, they do have more. If you feel like you're more straight back, straight through, they also have a lower degree as well. The link for this is going to be in the description. Go check it out. So the next part we're going to talk about here with putting is going to be reading the grain. Now this is a very advanced part of putting that a lot of amateurs don't even consider. But it can be very important depending on the type of grass you're putting on and the type of greens you're putting on. Sometimes the grain can significantly affect your golf ball and the speed and the break. So when you see golfers and pros walking around the hole in a circle, they're reading the putt, but they are also reading the grain. In order to do that, what they're doing is they're looking for color changes in the actual grass itself. If the grass is a darker green, that means that that is going to be into the grain, which means the grass is laying towards you, which if a ball were to roll towards it, it's going to go slower and it's going to want to hop more. Vice versa, if you're looking at the grain and you're looking at the green and you see a shiny or light green color, that means the grass is laying away from you and the ball is going to roll over it much, much easier and the putt is going to be quicker. Now, sometimes the grain can be, depending on where you are on the green, can be right to left. So when you're walking around, they're looking at where they see, okay, there's the shiny, which means the grain is that way. If you were to try and make this putt here and the grain is going to be right to left, that means that putt is going to break more. The grain is going to want to pull it the way that it's laying. So again, if the grass is laying this way and your putt breaks this way, that putt is going to break more. Vice versa, if it's against the grain and your putt breaks right to left, but the grain is laying left to right, it's going to want to hold that ball up and it's not going to break as much. Another great way to help you read the grain on the green is going to be to look at the hole. If the hole looks like this, that means the grain is going this way. All right, the ball is breaking with the grain and the balls are hitting on that side of the cup more. So depending on what side of the cup you are, the grain is going to be pointing towards that area of the cup that is a little more damaged because the balls are hitting that side of the cup more often. If it's a freshly cut cup, you're not going to be able to see this. However, if the cup's been there for a day or so, you should be able to tell which way the grain is going on the green just by looking at the cup. One other thing I use that I absolutely love is going to be the Pelz Golf Putting Tutor. This thing here helps with your start line. You put this on the green, you got a couple of ball bearings you put right over here as a gate, and it helps you figure out if you're starting the ball on the correct line. Show a demonstration right now. Now with the Pelz, you can see you've got these ball bearings you can adjust and you can move them up and down. It's got a little notch on the back here. You just kind of find a spot on the green, push that notch down, it'll kind of hold it in place. Put these ball bearings in the correct one that you want to start with. Ball sits right here. And then this is going to help you with your start line. If you make it off without hitting the ball bearings, you're starting on the correct line. However, it gives you instant feedback if you happen to hit a poor putt and it gets offline. I'll show you here. If you hit the ball bearings will either fall off or redirect the golf ball. Like so. Great training tool if you can get one. Pelz Golf Putting Tutor. Go check it out. So next thing we're going to talk about is going to be your pre-shot routine. Pre-shot routines are important for every shot in golf. It gets you into a rhythm. It gets you thinking about something other than the danger. If you don't have a pre-shot routine on every shot, you need one. But on the greens, I'm gonna walk you through my pre-shot routine and let you determine what things you wanna add to your pre-shot routine, and I'm gonna suggest some things that you may not do that you should be doing. So let's say I've hit this shot. One of the first things I do is I go up and I fix my ball mark, right? Be sure to fix your ball marks on the green. Next thing I do is I mark my golf ball. If you have a tee, that's fine. If you have a coin, that's fine as well. Mark your golf ball. Again, my routine is I usually clean the golf ball, put it in my pocket, and then the green reading portion of this starts. I get behind my ball, I bend down, and I'm reading the green. I'm trying to figure out which way this thing's gonna break. And then I walk usually counterclockwise to the right. I'm looking for pitch marks. I'm looking for things that are gonna be distracting to me, something that may knock my ball offline. Then when I get to this other side, as you can see, I bend back down. I'm reading the putt from the other side, making sure what I saw on that side is confirmed. Yes, that's exactly what I see on this side. At this point, you continue around, and I'm still trying to read the grain. If I think I saw something on the other side about the grain, I'm looking on this side. Yes, okay, there's the grain. Now I know which way it's gonna break. I get behind the ball again. I'm trying to find my target point, my starting point. I pick it out. I walk up, I get my ball, and if it's inside 10 feet, I line it up. If it's outside of 10 feet, I just put the white of the ball above and I use feel. That's up to you. If you line up the golf ball on every putt, that's fine. So I set the ball down, I find my target, make sure I've lined it up correctly. I usually wipe my putter face, walk in, line it up. I have my left hand on my hip or on my thigh. I typically don't take putter practice strokes. I make sure I'm good in my stance. I grab the ball, I'm looking at the target, where I want the ball to start, and then I'm focusing on that hole. You don't want to get locked in on the golf ball. You want to focus on the hole. A lot of amateurs will focus in on this golf ball, and they're focused in on getting their line right and the face right, and they forget about the hole, and then they end up leaving it 3-4 feet short. And then you've got a tester for par. So line it up, trust it, then concentrate on that hole, all right? Your body needs to know that's my end target, that's where I want the ball to go. If I were to throw a ball and roll the ball, how hard would I roll it? Line it up. A couple looks back to make sure my line is correct. And then I hit a good putt. I concentrate on the speed. And if it goes in, great. If it doesn't, I had pretty good speed there. It's gonna die right around the hole, and I'm gonna have a tap in for my par. Some of the things that I would definitely want you to do is marking your ball and walking around the hole. That helps you feel the distance you are away from the hole. It helps you read the putt way, way better. You don't just wanna look at it from one side. It helps you find the grain. It's a very, very good idea to walk around the hole after you've marked your golf ball. Clean your golf ball. I just saw a study the other day where a dirty golf ball will actually go slower on a green than a clean golf ball. So it's going to affect the pace and the speed of your putt if your ball is dirty, has grass stains, anything like that. Clean your golf ball every single time you pick it up off the green. Again, if you line up the ball with the line on your golf ball, that's fine. Absolutely, but don't get so locked in on that line that you forget about the speed. Line it up. Forget about it. Line up the line or the dot, whatever you have on your putter with the line on the ball. Forget about it. Now you're concentrating purely on the hole and the speed it takes to get there. So the next and final part of this video is going to be lag putting. As you can see here, I've got something in my hand. This is an I-line golf target circle. It unfolds into a 3-foot circle. I highly recommend getting this to help with your lag putting. That way you can dial in that speed. Again, link for this is going to be in the description. Go get you one. They're not too expensive. It's got one little hole on the end that you line up, and then you put a tee in, and it's perfect to help with your lag putting. Find you this putt that's going to be, I would say, 30 to 40 feet. Anything longer than that, you can work on at a later time. Lag putting is pretty much anything inside 30 to 40 feet. You don't need to really practice anything longer than that. If you can get the speed down for a 35, 40 footer, then you can absolutely get the speed down for basically any putt on the green. So before we start concentrating on how far away we are and everything like that, one thing I want to touch on real quick is going to be the stroke when it comes to lag putting. You don't want to be short and then really accelerate through the golf ball. You don't want to hit down on the golf ball. It's going to cause backspin, which is going to cause it to go slower, and it's going to cause it not to get to its target. Make sure you've got that ball position plenty up in your stance so you're hitting slightly up on the golf ball. You want to take a nice smooth stroke, nice back and through, back and through. The longer the putt is, the longer the backstroke, and go through the ball. One, two. Get you a metronome if you have one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Get you a couple putts like that. That way you can figure out nice, good tempo on that putt. Get to the hole, turn around. Again, you're looking at line. You're making sure you're reading the grain. Look at the hole. Make sure there's nothing around the hole. Walk back. Again, this walking to and from the hole is going to help you with that feel of how far you need to hit the ball. It's also going to help you when you feel it in your feet, whether it's uphill or downhill, side hill, whatever. Again, once you're ready, you can step into the ball. What I do is I line it up to where I want the ball to start. Left hand is on my hip or my thigh. I'm lining it up. Once I'm lined up and I've got both hands on the putter, now my attention is focused purely on that golf hole. I want to let my brain know that that's where I want the ball to go. I'm very much concentrated on that. Maybe look back, make sure I'm still lined up, ball position still good. All right, now the biggest thing on this is tempo. You don't want to get too quick. 1, 2. Hit you a couple putts. Once you figured out where you want to be, 1, 2. And if you, like that one was good speed, but it broke a little much. So now I'm going to adjust my stance just a little bit to play just a little bit more break. 1, 2. And if it gets within that 3-foot circle, like so, and if you just missed a circle, that's still a great putt. 1, 2. That one felt a little bit hard. So yep, went through the circle there, a little bit too much speed. 1, 2. This is going to drastically improve your lag putting. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out for this video, part 2 of Putting 101. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I missed. Let me know if any of this helps you. Again, I highly suggest getting some of these training aids that I showed you. They have drastically improved my putting. I'm pretty sure they're going to help you with your putting as well. Be sure to hit that like on this video if you learned something. Be sure to drop a subscribe as well. I really appreciate it. It helps me a ton. Stay tuned for more videos, Chipping 101 as well as Driving 101 coming soon.